All right, anytime you have the North Koreans doing something provocative, and a lot more provocative acts out of North Korea these days, including one conducting a live fire drill with up to 400 artillery pieces, you get the attention of the world, and you get the attention of this guy, Major General Michael Diamond, who says that China is going to be an ultimately much more integral role in this than certainly we've seen in the past. General, very good to have you.
Glad to be here.
We, under Republican and Democratic administrations, have relied on the Chinese to try to soothe this or deal with this or help us with this, and we've not been very lucky in that regard. But you're a little more optimistic here with President Trump. Why?
Well, 3 months ago, we really didn't have much of a relationship with China, so the ice has been broken. We've made some positive steps. The Chinese have started bringing in U.S. coal, vice North Korean coal. So there are some positive steps here, and we all kind of need to take a deep breath and pull back and take stock in what's taking place here in terms of the bigger foreign policy that we're seeing form, shape, and be changed right now under this.
What do you see that China's doing that gives you more hope than we've seen out of China in the past?
Well, they're trying to play a mediator role. We didn't see that in the past, and that's really another positive step forward. What we don't know is what they're doing, what I'd call behind the curtain there with the North Koreans. I'm sure Secretary Tillerson is aware of that, and hopefully will convey that tomorrow when the meeting of the 100 takes place.
Yeah, what are you making 100 senators at the White House? Where are they going to fit them all?
First of all, I think that's a very positive step for the administration, for the American people. Because, you know, these 100 people hold the decision-making opportunity for what we do in terms of declaring and going to a combat war situation. So they're going to hear the same message, same person.
And someone's going to yap about it, right?
Well, always that opportunity. Yes.
You know, many have argued that this president is clearly heading North Korea differently than his predecessors, Republican and Democrat. I'm wondering, General, when you're dealing, as many people say of the North Korean leader, that he's a nut. Can a nut respond to traditional pressure? He hasn't responded to sanctions in the past, maybe because the Chinese have been there. Even when we've threatened or increased our presence, you know, outside the Korean Peninsula, he hasn't responded to that. Now, I don't know to the degree we're doing now. But does he respond to the normal type of activity that other leaders of other countries might?
I think everything with him is just clearly an unknown. We don't know how he's going to respond. We don't know, especially to moves we've made, if you're looking at a chess game, so to speak. Right. We really don't know how he's going to respond to China's intervention here. And
what if China has no influence here? What if he's so crazy that even China can't fix it?
Well, that's the scary part about all of this. The unknown. I mean, what creates insecurity in us? It's the fear of what he could do. But I would say for the American people, we need to allay our fears because we're prepared for what he's going to do. My good friend General Brooks over in Korea, the forces are ready.
For what? Let's say he launches another missile. Would we try to shoot it down? Would we try to shoot the pads from which they're being launched? What would we do? How would the Chinese respond? The North Koreans respond to that? Would that be seen as a particularly provocative act?
On the part of the Chinese?
On the part of us?
Absolutely, it would be.
So would all Chinese help stop?
I don't think so. I think they don't want this to blow up. I really do, and I think that's the purpose of their intervention.
Why don't they want it to blow up? Because we're threatening, calling him an unfair trader or rigged currency specialist?
I think there's a lot of things that President Trump went over with President of China that have been very positive steps forward for both countries. And so I think they're going to try to intervene very strongly and see that that bridge continues to go further. But he's still got to maintain what they have with the North Koreans.
How do you think the president is doing, President Trump, almost 100 days in?
I think he's doing great. And I've written articles and things that tie back into my book on the leadership that he's brought. For one, I think he's done an extremely good job selecting what I call the A-team that he's brought on board to handle really leading our government, leading this country. And each one in their own right has done an exceptional job. Each one of them are having to start formulating, in Secretary Tillerson's case, a new foreign policy where there really hasn't been one.
Right? Yeah.
On the defense side, I mean, Jim Mattis is making the rounds. He's going to come back with a proposal on what he suggests that we need to do in Afghanistan, and of course, the other parts of what we need to do in terms of defense. And I think the team is going to work together great because you've got people that know their lane, but they also know how to play as a team player. General McMaster's with Security Council, Jim Mattis with Defense, Secretary Tillerson at State. I mean, they're all working together very well as a team. And that's what you really want to have when you're a leader, is to have a team working
on the same
together.
page.
Yes.
On the same page. General,
Absolutely.
thank you very, very much. The book is The Diamond Process. You do not mess with the general.